A very warm welcome to you. Many thanks for joining us on this week's edition of the program. We remain your source for all the latest happenings in the world of business. My name is Lucy Ulugbe. You are welcome. On the lineup this week, first, we join Faith and our guests, AIHAJI Dr. TESLIM SANUSI, CEO of Cosmic Insurance Brokers Limited, on the CEO Rendezvous for the concluding part of their exclusive interview on the occasion of his 80th birthday celebration, where he spoke on a wide range of issues from philanthropy to ethics and professionalism in the insurance industry. It was an interesting session. Let's take a listen.
There's nothing specifically in Islam we say you cannot insure, because Islam itself encourages you to take protection. It tells you that, look, live your life as if you are going to die tomorrow. And if you want to live your life as if you are going to die tomorrow, then you of course you take your make sure you have saved whatever can that will make life after you comfortable for those you are leaving behind, or for that will protect you or whatever you have.
On this edition also, Royal Exchange General Insurance Company recently organized a press conference at the Radisson Blu Anchorage Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos, where they formally unveiled the new Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the company, Mrs. EBELE NWA CHUKWU, and other members of the board. Speaking during the briefing, Prince IKE CHIOKE Board Chairman said that the company's shareholders' funds now stand at approximately 14 billion naira. Take a listen.
Our shareholders' funds today is about 14 billion naira, and the ownership of the company has now sort of organized as 40% to Royal Exchange PLC, our founding promoter, and now 30% to IIF and 30% to African Invest. So with that balance of ownership, we're technically a foreign-owned insurance company operating in Nigeria.
These and many more are what we have for you this week. So sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Details in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Okay, but AIHAJI, even with that recent pronouncement by NICOM, the few ones that have embraced the law to register, they are still in the urban cities.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You see, this micro insurance, I think it was just this year, if I'm not mistaken, that NICOM set out the guidelines. So it's still it's still not having effect. By the time it starts having effect, you find that, as I said, it was difficult to encourage the big players to go to all this area. But by the time you say, look, just stay in your, where do you come from?
Delta State.
Delta State. So stay in your small...
Oh, you mean my village? My village is the same town. I'm not actually from a village. Okay. I'm from a town.
Okay, like me, I'm from a small time in Kwara. Say it's a small time in Kwara. Well, it's no longer a small time, it's growing every day. But stay there and just operate as a micro insurance. You don't have to have 5 billions or 8 billions to capital base. Just provided you don't want to pay more, you don't want to insure more than 2 million or so, we'll give you a license to operate there. So it has just come up this year, and I'm sure that by the time it starts getting effect, it will spread to all these rural areas. You have more people, you encourage more people to come on board.
Okay, AIHAJI, I think you are the right person to ask this question. For religious reasons, a lot of people have said, that Muslims do not do conventional insurance. But we've also, with the microinsurance, we also have the TACAFO. And one would have expected also that with the population of Muslims in Nigeria, with the advent of the law by NICOM, the TACAFO, the uptake for TACAFO insurance, and even the insurance TACAFO companies would have been more than we have right now. What's
more than what?
More than the numbers that we have right now.
Okay.
What would you also say is responsible for that? Is it also awareness or?
Well, the TACAPO is not just microinsurance. I think TACAPO, they also insure the conventional covers insured by non-TACAPO companies. But I think the main reason is that comparatively, the TACAPO companies are still younger than the conventional ones. For example, Royal Exchange, I think, is the first insurance company in Nigeria. If I'm not mistaken, it's over 100 years now. I think the first TACAPO company is JAIS, and I'll give it maybe just between 10 and 15 years. So you can imagine, and after that, maybe 2 or 3 more have come up, and so on. So, but having said that, there's nothing specifically in Islam which say you cannot insure, because Islam itself encourage you to take protection. It tells you that, look, live your life as if you are going to die tomorrow. And if you want to live your life as if you are going to die tomorrow, then you of course you take make sure you research whatever can that will make life after you comfortable for those you are leaving behind, or for that will protect you or whatever you have. So from that point of view, it's only people who do not know, who have not read deeply, who say that Islam discourages insurance. The only thing is the aspect of insurance, just like in banking, which is a bit offensive to insurance, is the what I call the profit side of it. Islam feel that you should not live on people's sweat to make too much profit and so on. So TACAPO insurance are sort of giving you a platform whereby you can say, look, we are not making profit. Let's come together like a cooperative company and put up an insurance share. Let's have a shared platform for our insurance, for our various insurances, and it will make we will do whatever is charges. We'll take it from that fund which we have put together. Whatever is there will be no profit. Whatever is the okay, let's call it profit or the excess will also be shared back among us and so on. So that sort of take care of that. So that's what the TACAPO companies are doing.
Okay, so we've mentioned one or two of the challenges. Given the size of Nigeria's population, what would you say has hindered the growth? You mentioned Royal Exchange was the first insurance company. It's over 100 years. And when you hear the statistics in terms of insurance contribution to the GDP, is less than 1%. And you have newer sectors that are just springing up. Entertainment, IT, for instance. You see them contributing as much as 5%, 4% to the GDP. And here's an industry that have stayed longer for 100 years plus, and they are contributing less than 1% to the GDP. What would you say has hindered the growth of this sector?
Well, I would limit it to three reasons, maybe more. The first one I would say is it's a question of ignorance. People do not really know what insurance is about. People do not care to even, people do not, just as ignorance causes a lot of problems in every situation. When you don't know what is insurance about, and there's not enough awareness to let you know. That also takes us to the issue of image. Image. What some people know about insurance is that insurance companies collect money when ask you when they come to you, but when it's time for claim,
they run away.
they run away, or they start giving you
Stories.
technical reasons why your claims have to be underpaid or not fully paid and so on. So ignorance and image are those two factors. The other one is poverty. Because the level of poverty in this country is very high and is said to be growing. And before people think of insurance, they first think of the 3 meals a day, and But if, for example, the issue of ignorance is well countered through awareness, then people will know that number one, yes, we have occasions where insurance companies don't pay claims, but on majority occasions, insurance pay quite a lot of claims day in, day out, which are not advertised. Just like in any other situation, it is the bad habits that get publicized and not the good ones. So, and at the same time, when it comes to poverty, if people are not ignorant, you realize that yes, you are poor enough, you cannot afford this. Maybe you can only afford a small house, but you know that you can give small house to protect that small cottage. In the event of anything going wrong, you will not be have to be destitute again, looking for where to stay, and so goes with when it comes to people insuring themselves. As I always said, when you see people crying in the event of losing their beloved ones or the breadwinner, in most cases the cause for weeping is not because of the dead man or the dead woman. It's the thought of saying that, look, how do I survive after this person, or how does this issue, how does this role is playing in my life, how does it get solved from now on? So if in the lifetime of people like that, they have emphasized that, okay, these are their responsibilities, and they take adequate insurance to ensure that in the event of their demise, such responsibility are like in terms of children education, in terms of upkeep of family, the family, and so on. Then you find that there will be less weeping when people die.
All right, welcome back. Moving on, we now bring you highlights from the press conference organized by Royal Exchange General Insurance Company, where they unveiled the new MD CEO of the company, Mrs. EBELE NWA CHUKWU. A thoroughbred professional, she brings close to 3 decades of versatile, proven and trusted experience in insurance business to REGIC. Happy viewing.
Our company's shareholding and our governance has changed quite a lot in the last few years. In 2019, our company attracted a capital injection from Insure Resilience Fund, IIF. This is a fund established by the German development bank, KfW, and is managed by a Swiss-based impact investment manager called Blue Orchard Finance Limited. these people invested about $10 million, then worked out about 3.6 billion naira into the company. Subsequently, in 2021, we also attracted a second capital raising exercise from Afric Invest. Don't confuse that with AfriInvest. From Afric Invest. Afric Invest is a Tunisian-based private equity fund. They're a leading Pan-African asset management company, and they invested in us through a vehicle called FIVE, Financial Inclusion Vehicle. And so today, between the two international investors that we have quite a diverse board that has extensive relationships across Germany, across Europe, North Africa, even all the way down to South Africa. I mean, down to Australia, excuse me. Some of the directors that are not here today include AIHAJI Rabi Guazo, non-executive director, Mr. Ernesto Costo, who's a Spanish national. He works for Blue Orchard, he's a non-executive director representing that investor. Mr. Wolabi Salami, non-executive director, he may still come here. We also have Mr. Mehdi Gabi, he's Tunisian, representing Afric Invest. We have Mr. Lotfi Bakuch from Australia, who is an independent non-executive director. So you can see the diversity and the quality of leadership that the board has managed to achieve in just a few years. Following the investments by IIF and Afric Invest, our shareholders' funds today is about 14 billion naira, and the ownership of the company has now sort of organized as 40% to Real Exchange PLC, our founding promoter, and now 30% to IIF and 30% to Afric Invest. So with that balance of ownership, we're technically a foreign-owned insurance company operating in Nigeria. So we are gathered here today for me to introduce to you our new chief executive in the person of Mrs. EBELE NWA CHUKWU.
It's a lot of responsibility, I think, to be invited. If you listen to the chairman's speech, you know, I think some of you would have been looking at me to say, there's so much for you to do, and I'm really ready to build a team, you know, to get this task done, to make sure that we position the company correctly and in the place where it should be. The chairman has said it all. There's very little for me to say, just to thank you all for inviting me and for the confidence that's been, you know, placed on me. I'm definitely prepared to give you my best shot and to make you all, both members of the press, the insuring public, and the owners of Royal Exchange, very proud of this decision. So thank you for being here. Good afternoon again.
My interest is looking at the agri space. I know maybe Ms. Ajili will help us in this situation. I know when I can't remember which of the investors, and when they came in with interest on the agri space. That's about 3-4 years down the lane. Please, can you share your experience with us? Also, there was this flood of last year. I don't know what you can tell us, if there are so much claims from that incident.
Year 2022 was looked upon by both local and global operators as a year of reaping all the harvest, all the investments they made in IT, especially during the COVID. And to the extent that some Nigerian insurers who wanted to hold tight the old model, they were forced to change. And I want Sir Agidi to tell us your experience with investments made by Royal Exchange in this line, and then my namesake, my big madam, Ebere, to tell us what you are building up, you know, to consolidate on what has already been built down in this aspect, because that's where the world is going.
The regulator has been complaining that it's been tilling the ground for operators around the country, trying to, you know, losing the focus, the concentration on just Lagos, going around the country to meet with state governments, on compulsory insurance, and then it's complaining that the operators are not now taking it from where it has taken it, expect the operators to take it from there. I'd like to ask you if you are looking at this, if you are concerned about this, what you'll be doing in this regard, and because this is a new year, what is the cash cow that you see for the industry?
The chairman has actually spoken of, brought more light on the issue of being a Nigerian or a foreign company. I wanted to ask what is the excitement about being a foreign company? But we've not seen it yet. Yes, but when he said now that they are partners and they want to take advantage of their expertise and whatever, I feel more over that. Fine, the year has just ended and the new management is taking over from here. It will be nice if we know where you are standing from, where you are going, and in terms of what you did last year, also this time. Secondly, will be the budget is out. I would like to know where you see insurance play in that space. What is there for the insurance industry?
Early last year or thereabout, we had a major staff exit, which is the core. He is the leader or the head of agri space, and we have tried to replace him. We just succeeded in getting a suitable replacement. But apart from that, the business is growing. Last year, we have done a reasonable size in terms of agri business underwriting premium. It was not what we expected because of lack of credit in the market. Most of the key players in terms of provision of credit. So, but in terms of from the aggregators and the other space and the private farmers, we have done relatively very well. And I also believe IIF is happy with the development. We have a partnership with IIF in terms of a premium support facility, and in terms of other technical support they have provided in this agri space to grow the business. And because they are impact investor, that they believe in terms of their investment will be able to impact on the less privileged in terms of sustainability and how to improve the environment. That they have done.
Before I took my short break from the industry, yes, I know how much work NICOM was doing, going to different states, especially to promote compulsory insurance, etc. We're going to have a plan that kind of aligns very strongly with the regulator, and a couple of things you see us do over the next few months. You would actually see our dedication to this. I'd just like to respond in that manner. For the 2022 results, I'll let Mr. Agili respond because I'm still getting familiar.
Royal Exchange General Insurance Company is poised to be among the top 3 general insurance firms in the next 5 years, leveraging on technology, which is the future of business. That's our time on the program this week. Many thanks for being a part of it. Join us again, same time, same station next week for a fresh package. If you miss any part of today's show, please check it out on our YouTube channel, Almond Finance TV. In the meantime, feel free as always to connect with us on all our social media platforms. Don't forget to join us on our flagship Pidgin English radio program, Waiting Insurance They Do Safe, on Nigeria FM 102.7 every Wednesday by 9:45 a.m., powered by NICOM. My name is Lucy Lube. Until next time, and from the entire crew, it's goodbye.